Good morning, everybody. Barb Pitcock here, and I wanted to come live to you today with an exciting call. I know that some of us are experiencing the worst of times right now, and then there are other people who are experiencing the best of times right now. And this morning, sorry, I gotta make a wish and turn my necklace around here, I guess. This morning, I was listening to one of my favorite philosophers, Mr. Jim Rohn. I don't know how many of you have ever heard of Jim Rohn. I was thinking we have all these journals here, if you could see these 5 journals. And I know I've shared these before, but these 5 journals were me, Dave, Brooklyn Chance, and Callie at a weekend event where we invested a lot of money. We actually took all of our employees from the office and we went to a Jim Rohn seminar. And in these journals from 2007 or 2008, every one of us, Dave, me, Brooklyn Chance, and Callie, we sat and we took notes and we listened to one of the most amazing men, Jim Rohn, as he shared his philosophy. And this morning, I was just getting back to the basics. Life is serious, you guys. It's really serious. We can't be casual about it. Sometimes we want to be casual about it because life is hard, right? But let's get serious today as friends. I don't know why my title here says CEO Innovative Posh. I'm sorry, you guys. It should say No Guts, No Story. I guess I logged in to my StreamYard with my corporate title, but today I just want to be your friend. So let me share with you something. We cannot be casual about life. We got to get serious. There are people that 4 years ago were in the worst of times, and there are other people that were experiencing their best life now, right? And now 4 years later, maybe some of you that were in a horrible situation 4 years ago, you've come out of that and you've got your wings and you're sailing and you're experiencing your best life ever. But at the same time, there's someone that's battling a horrible disease. There's someone that is down to their last penny. There's someone that is hurting so bad. And there are other people that are absolutely killing it, right? That's life. What we have to do, if we want this to be our best year, and we haven't done anything yet, we have 90 days left. If you've been doing it wrong for a year, and you want it to be your best year ever, you got to change your sail right now. You got to get smart. You don't need another year of lessons and struggle and challenge. And what we have to do is really change our philosophy. So Jim Rohn, my favorite philosopher ever, if you really want your butt kicked, just go Google him on YouTube. He passed away many years back, within the decade, but in 2008, when we spent that weekend with him, my kids were just teenagers, and I took them up on stage. I took their picture with him. I told them, get his autograph. It's going to be worth so much to you one day. And here it is, Barb, all the best, Jim Rohn. You guys, in this little book, I have reflected many, many times to where I was that year. I had launched a brand new company. We had done $1 million in 90 days. I had no idea that I was going to be smashed. Just completely wrecked within the next decade and have to grow and have to learn and have to get up and have to have strength. But thank God for the wisdom, right? So what I want to share with you guys today, if we want to design our best year ever and we only have less than 90 days left, if your call didn't go good, make more calls. If your trying out for a team didn't go good, try out again. Callie's friend on the K-State cheer team cheered all 4 years, and her little sister wanted to cheer with her and tried out twice during her cheer career and did not make it. But the year that Caroline graduated, her little sister made the team, and today she's a Wildcat cheerleader. She never gave up. She kept showing back up. And there's so much possibility for all of us, but we can't get lazy in our learning. We can't get lazy in our action. We can't get lazy and not be serious. We got to get serious like yesterday about where we want to go. And it can't just be motivation, you guys. If you don't learn the lesson, if you don't switch the way you're sailing, you can't just be motivated all the time. Because if you're motivated and you're not developing the skills you need, you're not developing the learning and the wisdom and someone mentoring you, and you're just constantly like, I'm going to be positive about this. I mean, I have a horrible disease, but I'm positive. Like, you got to take action. You can't just be positively motivated, because an idiot that gets positively motivated every day is only going to be a positive motivated idiot. And when I heard Jim Rohn say that, I was like, oh my God, a positive motivated idiot. Is that me? Because I always see the glass half full. I never want to even talk about any doubt or any worry. Let me ask you guys a question. Is there doubt and worry in the world today? Tons of it. Is there doubt and worry in our government? Tons of it. Is there doubt and worry in our finances right now in the world? Tons of it. Is there doubt and worry with sickness and illness? I was at Dave's mom's. I was there early this morning, and I'm already back home. Wonderful woman. I love the time that we have with her. And, I got up early, made sure I got to town, got back home before this call. I was 5 minutes late, but I made it. And I was thinking when I was driving, I always think best case scenario. But sometimes we have to face the hard stuff, don't we? Same as the wind blows us all, we all have the same opportunity. We all have the same challenge. When you think about that, don't ask for a more favorable sale. Don't curse the only thing that you've got. Don't curse the only money that you've got. Don't curse the only opportunity that you got. Don't curse the only children you were blessed with. Don't curse the only family that you've got. We have to adapt. And when I say for some, it's the worst of times, at the same time, for some, it's the best of times. When I was going through a bankruptcy in 1996, my mentor was making $160,000 a month. He had not come into my life yet. But at the very time that the economy was bad in Kansas and oil was $7 a barrel, and I was losing my car and my utilities were turned off, and we couldn't afford a $7 can of formula Pro Sobe for a colic baby, there were people making millions of dollars. I can't wish any harm on them when I'm down. I can't curse the only thing I've got. It starts with being grateful. And you got to take care of things, you guys. You got to take care of your health. You can't just wish things were better and wish things were easier. You've got to get better in order for things to get easier. So number one, you got to study. Study, study, study. Number two, you got to learn. Don't just study it. Learn it well enough to teach it. Learn the recipe well enough to share it with your kids. Learn the philosophy well enough to share it with your team. Learn the skill well enough to share it with your employees and create duplication, or your team if you're in direct sales. You've got to develop as a person and get better so that you can handle the seasons that are going to come, because you guys, seasons are going to come whether we want them or not. Guess what? It's fall. What's going to come next? Winter. Is it going to be a hard winter? Maybe. Yesterday I was at Dave's mom's, and she's so in love with her family, and we were visiting for hours. And her niece, which is Dave's cousin, two nieces had a baby within 2 months, and so it's heaven for all those aunts and great aunts, right? And the one little boy, little boy had been in the hospital all week. And Cindy was so worried because he had RSV and he couldn't breathe, and he got to come home from the hospital, and she was just distraught. She's not there with them. It's several hours away, but you would think she was right there holding and loving and just worrying about this baby. And then last night she said, did you see on the news? It's going to be a hard winter. They said for the little ones, this RSV is going to be horrible. So many people aren't going to be able to breathe, so many little ones. And thank goodness we don't have little ones right now. And, that is a philosophy. That is a philosophy. And whatever the news says, and whatever the forecast is, and whatever the naysayers and whatever, they're going to create a little bit of doubt that will help you say, thank God we don't have little ones right now. But you know what I'm wishing right now? I wish I had a ton of little ones. I wish I had so many new grandbabies being born. I wish that my kids were all just getting babies, because that's my joy, right? And I know that season is coming, but I'm not in it right now. I wish I was surrounded by them every day. I know that season is coming, but I'm not in it right now. So I can't curse the only thing I've got, right? You can't curse the only thing you've got. People will talk about the time. The time is passing. My goodness, it's already the last week of October. Where did the time go? Where does it all go? You can't say that. You've got to know where every minute goes. How long will this last? I will tell you, a steward, a person who really knows where their ship is sailing, they know where every penny goes. Even when they don't have any money, they know where every penny goes. Because if you don't know where it goes, you're not going to have a bunch of it. If you don't know where your time goes, you're not going to make the most of it. If you don't take care of your health, you're not going to have a lot of it. You've got to be faithful when things are small if you really want big amounts to flow to you. In our company, we have a lot of promoters. You got to know and love and nurture and marry your promoters when you only have 2 or 3, or you're never going to have 200 or 300. Because what we don't tend to and what we don't take care of, if we disregard the smallest little things, we're never going to have the big thing. What we focus on is going to grow. I will tell you, number 1, you've got to get serious. Number 2, you've got to take action. And the next thing you have to do, you've got to get better. Personal development is everything. In order for things to get better, I got to get better. In order for my finances to get better, I got to get better. In order for my health to get better, I got to get better. You yourself need to look in the mirror and say, I'm going to get wiser. I'm going to get stronger. I'm going to get better. I'm going to learn to figure out the things that I can't get right that keep going wrong. Social economy, terrible. Political economy, terrible. The winters are coming. They're always going to be bad, you guys. Winters come. You're going to have 4 seasons in your life. You're going to have the winter, and we've all had them. When you think about it, I was thinking of a good friend of ours, Lori Graber. A couple years ago, when we first launched our company, and it was absolutely exploding, and I had a new grandbaby, and I was in just this bliss chapter. She buried a child, an adult child. She was a widow. She was so broken and sad. And she had just moved to be close to this son that she lost. But I watched her in the next few months get engaged, get married, have a new grandbaby, move into a new home, landscape a backyard, put in a pool, celebrate so many happy times with a brand new husband and a brand new baby. And it was a season, you guys. We all have these seasons in our life. We have personal winters when our heart is absolutely smashed to pieces, when the nights are long and you wake up and you can't even sleep thinking, how am I going to get through this? But you know what happens? We build muscle. We build muscle when we have that broken heart, and it's barely pumping. And pretty soon it's stronger, and it carries us through those winters. So then after winter, there's this change of season. You yourself have changed. What comes after winter, you guys? For some people, it's their favorite season. It's spring. Now the new season comes, and you're what? You're wiser. You're stronger. You watch this live, and you're going to leave wiser and stronger and smarter than you were before, because you're going to be, aha, that's me. It's not me. It's Jim Rohn. It's the study. It's that I learned it well enough to teach it so that I could pass that on to you, and you could be like, aha, I need to adapt my sales. Number 1, write this down. I need to be wiser, stronger, and better. Number 1, wiser, sorry. Number 2, stronger. Number 3, better. I'm going too fast. Courage is a muscle. You're going to get to where you're not afraid when every winter comes. You're going to be like, I got this. It's going to work. Something bad happens. I see Kelly Delbridge on here. A few months back, I remember a conversation Dave and I and Kelly had, and it was scary. She was going through something, and it was like, this is horrible. Why did this happen to me? Fear is false evidence appearing real. When you take it on head on and you say, this is not going to be a big deal. We're going to work through it. I'm going to be stronger. We're going to be wiser. We're going to get better. We're going to be closer and stronger and bonded, and we're going to kill it together. We do. But you guys, there are things that creep in. And I want to tell you, when you're getting stronger, you're building the courage muscle. You're building the dedication muscle. You're building the communication, the language you speak muscle. You're building a coping mechanism muscle. You're building that you can handle anything, and that you're not just going to be stomped out. You're going to be strong. The number 3, when you get better, it first starts up here with our self-talk, doesn't it? I remember the first time Dave and I ever spoke at a convention. We stood up, my mind sat down. I was pregnant and I was holding a kangaroo with a little baby that was only a few months old, Brooklyn, and Chance was on the way. Our joke was that everything was happening in 8-second increments, but I'm telling you what, because he was a bull rider, some of you guys will get that joke later today. I remember standing in Kansas City. I couldn't afford nails and I owned a salon. I couldn't afford formula and I had not just one baby, but one on the way. I was breastfeeding. I was emotional. I was fat. I was sad. I was all the things, hormones. And I remember when we stood up on the stage, I was like, I got this. We're getting recognized. We had enrolled 8 people. We were top producers in our state. You know, we didn't have 2 pennies to rub together, but we looked good. And when I stood on the stage, all I could do was cry. Because sometimes when you're under pressure, what's inside comes out. Dave and I still talk about the first talk we ever gave, the first time we ever stood on stage. We stood up, our mind sat down, true story. But we did it. We did it scared. We did it broke. We did it confused. We did it attacked. We even did it when we were sick. It didn't matter. I remember one year I had a pulmonary lung disease. They said I might live 3 to 4 years. I would start conference calls and in the middle of them be so out of breath, I would text someone or take it off mute and ask one of my leaders to keep going. But I didn't make excuses. I kept showing up. It sucked. It sucked so bad. I couldn't stop. I was starting over. I was rebuilding an income. I was being attacked on all fronts. The greatest opportunities you ever have come in the spring. And when the opportunity comes, you got to do it anyway. You got to do it because you guys, in a lifetime, you know, every year springs come, but in life, the seasons aren't always spring when it's spring. And when the opportunity comes, you've got to run. In order for me to be an influence, in order for me to be reaching people, in order for me to be touching people, in order for me to reach out to one of you today, I have to show up every day, even when I don't feel like showing up. I can conduct things today that I couldn't conduct before. I can handle things today I couldn't handle before. I can teach things today that I couldn't teach before. Don't wish for a better winter. Wish that you were wiser. Wish that you were stronger. Wish that you had more muscle. Wish that you had more experience. And learn to take advantage of those springs. Spring is a season that comes to you where you have an opportunity, where you can pivot, where you can jump in, where you can take a risk. You got to seize it with both hands. Own it. Take the notes. Go to the seminar. Go for the incentive trip. Try to win the contest. Invest in the business. Get out of your comfort zone and get ready to cash in. Back when the industry would allow us to talk about financial independence, which you can't even say that word today or you get smacked. Dave and I actually had a funnel and it was called readytocashin.com. And you know what? It didn't talk about our business. It didn't talk about our products. It didn't talk about what you could do to be on our team. It talked about you. Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Are you ready to make a change? If you knew you couldn't fail, what would you do? And people would fill out a list. And if we knew that they were serious, we would call them. I'm telling you guys, get serious. And you, in your life, only need 3 or 4 serious people to run with. You can postpone things when spring comes. You don't ask a farmer in Kansas to go bowl on your bowling league in the spring. They don't have time for bowling. They're planting seeds. I don't ask someone right now when it's the last week of October in my nutrition company if they want to go on a vacation. We ain't going on vacation. It's the close. It's the last week of the month, right? It's the last quarter of the year. And we can't ask a farmer to go bowling in the spring. We can't ask someone that's in the spring of their life to be casual. They got to take massive and immediate action because there's a small window of opportunity that shows up a few times in your life. And if you're not out on the dock when your ship comes in, you missed it. You guys don't miss opportunities. How many springs are you going to have in a lifetime? You ever have an idea and then later somebody doesn't, and you're like, are you kidding me? You know, my daughter had an idea to make cereal flavored milk. Honestly, Brooklyn used to say, we should make milk that tastes like Cinnamon Toast Crunch when you drink the end of your bowl, or Fruity Pebble. You know, somebody did it. $1 million idea. Imagine the guy that said we should bottle water. And I was like, I'm never paying for water. I remember when water first came out in bottles, I used to wash the water bottles in the dishwasher and refill them to send them with my kids to school and freeze them. I was never paying for a case of water. I buy cases of water today. I buy the water that's literally $9 a case because I don't want to drink anything except for spring water, right? Crazy idea. Millions of dollars made. That person is in their season now because they took action in the spring. You can't just sit in the middle of your spring because summer's coming, and summer is the season where once you've built something, you have to nourish and protect. Do you know what happens in the summer in Kansas? The wind blows, the heat's coming, the weeds are growing, the bugs are toxic. I mean, they're coming with all they've got to destroy every seed you've planted. It'll be 115 degrees with 70-mile-an-hour winds and no rain, and the front yard is cracking with cracks that you could literally put your whole hand in. And if you don't nourish it in the summer, it's dead. Your spring didn't count. That's why you've got to be sprinkling it. You've got to be watering it. You've got to be pulling the weeds or they'll take over you guys. And I've been through the summer lately where the enemy came to attack and kill every good thing I ever built. And you know what you have to do in the summer of your life? You have to stand strong and you have to fight the enemy with all you've got. But if you haven't built character because you've had some adversity, if you haven't built the muscle because you've never had any bad thing happen, if you haven't built communication, if you haven't built core values of integrity and standing tall and doing the right thing, sick, tired, scared, broke, fearful, whatever you are, then summer will take your harvest and you won't have anything. And you'll be right back to a really hard winter. Summer comes right after opportunity. It's going to be change. It's going to be difficulty. It's going to be the times where you're the gardener with the noxious weeds and you're trying to spray them and you're battling everything that's threatening you. Someone wants to destroy your future. Someone wants to poison your marriage. Someone's trying to tear apart your family. And you know what, guys? It happens to all of us. Let me tell you something. The most important thing you do is negative self-talk cannot exist. And you have to protect your energy. Don't have the conversations that the enemy starts. He's coming at you every day. Don't have the thoughts. The battlefield is in our mind. And you can't coast. This is not the time when you relax. I would love to be in Germany right now with my daughter, Callie. I would love to be on a vacation. Wouldn't cost me anything. They went to the Netherlands last week. They can go to Paris on a train ride. They can go to Münster where they live and see everything. It would be a dream. I'm not in that season right now. I can't coast. And I want to ask you guys something. Are you serious or are you lax? Are you taking it casual or are you taking care of your garden? You've got to take care of it in here. Don't let the doubts come in. Don't let the world creep in your brain with all the self-doubt. What's happening to America? What's happening all around the world? Don't pick up those things. Don't even pick them up. You let the enemy in a crack of that door, he's coming to rage the house. It's like letting the fox in the hen house. He will take it all. You got to drive the doubts out with little small wins. Drive them into a corner. Like a mad dog, I'm telling you guys, the doubt will come in and it will indulge. It will indulge in creating havoc in your life, in your teams. It'll create fear. It'll make you think, should I run? Should I quit? Should I not spend any money? Should I not buy the new car? Should I not buy a new house? You know, right now, there's two philosophies. The world is in trouble. Don't buy anything. Don't buy a house. Don't make any big purchases. It's terrible right now. The economy's going horrible. And you know what, you guys? It's a mindset. It's a mindset. If I can have a miracle happen, so can you. If I can create power and influence, so can you. If I can learn a new skill and create millions of dollars after losing it all, so can you. If I can create change in my mindset, in my health, in my finances, in my family, so can you. Think about it. If I can grow, so can you. If I can develop, so can you. If I can get an invitation to participate in an opportunity, so can you. You've got to believe that you can. So don't be full of worry like most of the world is right now. You know, my daughter, she's a lender and she's joined this career in a very challenging time in the world, right? It would be easy for her to worry when some of their branches are being shut down. A lot of their top people are being fired. She's in another country working with people over the internet and FaceTime, helping them get loans when people right here that could take them to lunch and go to coffee are saying, it's a bad time to buy. You know, if things don't turn around, I'm going to have to get a new career. She ain't giving up. She is working harder in her spring than ever before. She told me an incredible philosophy the other day. She said, marry the house, divorce the rate. She said, right now, people can take advantage of low prices. Yes, the interest is high, but man, are there some good deals on the street, and they can refinance when the interest goes down. It's a philosophy. Over here, you've got gloom and doom. Don't buy anything. Don't do anything. Don't get a loan. Don't buy a car. And over here, you have people that have been waiting on this opportunity. It's their spring because they lived below their means. They saved up a pile of cash, and they knew that the winters would come, the springs would follow, the summers would be a battle, and the fall would be the harvest. It's been this way my whole life, you guys. It's been this way my whole life. I look at the timeline of my life. 1990, horrible time. 1992, I meet Dave after a horrible situation. 1993, we run away to Wyoming. We're at the food pantry. I have my firstborn, greatest blessing of my entire life. It happens. I'm a mom, right? 1994, 95, 96, he's quitting his job as a contractor on a telephone construction crew. He gives up insurance. He gives up a weekly check. He gives up a company truck. I tell him, quit your job. We're going to take a risk and be entrepreneurs. It's going great guns. It's going great. 95 is here. It's good. 96 comes. It's bad. 97 comes. We're in a bankruptcy. 98 comes. We've got a baby, another baby, and one on the way. And our backs are against the wall. And by 2000, we're living the dream. It goes like this, down and up, down and up. 2001, tragedy, trauma, depression, devastation, more money than we've ever had, more sadness and grief and anger and confusion and guilt than I could ever even imagine could happen to me. And you know what happened, you guys? We made it through. We kept going. And if I hadn't had my 2000 and 2001, you wouldn't ever have me on a No Guts, No Story. I wouldn't even have a story to tell. I built a muscle during adversity so that I could reach out and give it to other people with a new faith, with a new courage, with a new skill, with a new habit. And you guys, our habits are so much more important. That discipline and habit is so much more important than what happens to us. Everyone around you is going to be a pessimist because there's a lot to be pessimistic about. But you have to educate yourself. Educate pessimism and say, you are stupid, pessimism. You don't know what I'm about to do. Only a half empty glass is going to be a pessimist. I can't just be positive. Right now, we have a loved one fighting a horrible disease. I can't just say it's not there, but I don't have to give it energy. I can wake up every day and be grateful for what we've got. Grateful for one more day. Grateful for breath. Grateful for being able to see each other and talk to each other. Grateful for hope. Grateful for our faith. Grateful for the roof over our head. There are a lot of things that you can be faithful and grateful for even in the worst of times. Remember how I started this live? You might be in the worst of times. There are people that are in the best of times. And a few years from now, they might be in their worst of times, and you might be in your best of times. But when the fall comes, you got to take this harvest so seriously. You've got to be grateful for what you've got. Don't curse the only thing that you've got. We can't curse our government. It's the only one we got. We can't curse our company. It's the only one we've got. We can't curse our teammates. They're the only teammates we've got. And what we have to do is not complain. I heard the greatest one-liner today. Complaining ruins all things. Like infection, it causes it to fester into disease. If you have a problem, own it. I've got a problem. I created it. Whatever I'm going through right now, I co-created it. I'll take full responsibility. I don't have to necessarily apologize, but I will take full responsibility, and I will say, I am going to change. I can't curse the wind. I have to change my sail. Everyone has the same wind blowing, right? It's the direction that we take during. And when you do good in your harvest, do not apologize. I give so willingly. I tithe so willingly. Sometimes more than I even have to give. But I know that the seed that I planted is going to flourish based on what I do with my harvest. One of the most important ever sermons that I ever heard. After Dave's little brother passed away, we didn't go to church for a long time. And I'm sorry about that, mostly to my children. It was uncomfortable to go praise and worship during a storm. Dave was questioning a lot. He read every book on every religion, and I truly worried he would become an atheist. He was that mad at God. But our faith became stronger. And I had to be understanding, and I had to be compassionate. I couldn't change the journey. I just had to wake up and set a good example. And my kids and Dave and I talk about that a lot. That journey where he had doubt created such conviction because he developed his own learning, his own skill, his own passion, his own purpose, his own belief. You have to appreciate the journey even when it's really, really hard, you guys. Like a sponge, you've got to be learning, absorbing it all up so good that you can develop that skill and that experience to respond to people, respond to their problems, be compassionate. You can't let it kill you. You can't let what's happening to everyone else around you kill you, but you can feel it. When someone I love has addiction, I can't become as sick as they are, but it's okay to feel it. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to let the people around me have my heart and for me to be non-judgmental and loving and ever forgiving. It's okay when someone is ill and they're sick for me to go there and love them and be sad and not worry, but experience those feelings for a minute. There are people with mental illness. There are people with cancer. There are people with bipolar. There are people with addiction. There are people that have so many challenges all around us, and we can't just push that away. It's okay to let sad things make you sad, and it's okay to let happy things make you happy. Let it get all around your heart, but don't let it kill you. You have to get up and continue to go on, no matter what season other people are in, and you can't feel bad about your fall, your harvest, your celebration, your making money, your loving relationship. I was talking to someone this week and I said, we should go to the lake and just appreciate time with each other. And this person's going through a really sad time. And she said, I just think if I went and we were fishing and feeling happy and smiling, I would feel really guilty because I shouldn't be happy right now. And you know what? I sat there for a minute and I thought, I just have to let this person be in their season because they're building strength. They're building character. They're building their own experience that I can't change. You know what, you guys? I want to change every single one of you. I want you to be happy. I want you to be healthy. I want you to be strong. I want you to have the most amazing finances. I want you to end 2022 saying, this is the best damn year I've ever had. But some of you want to complain. Some of you are letting that fester into a complete disease to the point that you would rather be right about it than be rich. You would rather be right about it and let it make you sick than you would be just get better. Some of you are so pissed and angry and resentful and not forgiving and blaming because somebody did you wrong. And they did. Not arguing about that. It wasn't fair. It wasn't right. It should not have happened to you. Just like things that happened to me are not fair, were not right, and they never should have happened to me. But they did. They happened. And guess what? I ain't complaining. I am not complaining because I don't want that class. I don't want that disease. I don't want that harvest. I don't want that draining of my finances. I don't want that to kill my relationships. I can't change anyone around me except me. And here I am showing up every day, no matter how I feel. I do it when I don't want to do it. I read when I don't want to read. I pray when I don't feel like praying. Sometimes I do have a complete meltdown and cry and scream and throw shit and cuss, and the non-Jesus side does come out of me. But guess what, guys? I don't stay there very long. I know what I need to do because I've been learning the skills. I have been conditioning the muscle. I have been growing and learning and getting back up to the point nothing will stop me. And the minute that you get back up and you say, nothing will stop me, I'm coming into an amazing season. I'm going to end this year better than ever. It's when you take responsibility. You've got to go today and declutter. You've got to go today and let go. If someone made you angry, communicate it. If I upset you because I didn't listen to you, I didn't call you, I didn't love you, I didn't give to you, I didn't recognize you, just tell me. Just tell me and let's get better. That's what I would say to my kids. That's what I would say to my husband. That's what I would say to my brothers and sisters. That's what I would say to people on my team, my employees at my stores. You know, what you don't tend to, you lose. I've had great employees before. And when I was in a winter and I was going through a tragic car accident, a loved one in a hospital during COVID, a child that was struggling, another child that was struggling, another child that was struggling, my own sickness. I was going through it all. Guess what? I didn't tend to relationships because I didn't know better and I lost them. It's the summer that happens to all of us. And what I try to do every day is just touch the people. You got to keep touching the people, you guys. You got to keep reaching out. You got to keep touching them. If they're sad, work through their sad. If they're hurt, work through their hurt. If they're angry, work through their angry. But we got to listen to people. We can't think you've got to do this now and do it my way. I want to reach my kids sometimes and be like, what the heck are you doing? But I got to let them learn. They're kids. They're not kids anymore. They're adult kids, right? And guess what? They learn and they build their muscle and they develop their character and they get their own skills. Because what happens when you see a little baby chick trying to peck out of an egg and you want so bad to just break the egg and help the baby chick? Do you know what happens? The chick dies. The mother bird can only bring the worm to the baby so many times before the baby doesn't learn to go get their own worms. In business, whether it's sales teams, whether it's employees, like you got to have systems where people develop. I got to put my top earner on a pedestal and let them be the trainer. I got to put my employee at the store to manager and let them run the store. I got to put the person in our factory in charge of the phones, or they're never going to learn to take an order without me being there, right? It's skills people develop. I got a niece that runs our entire traditional business, and she is just a badass. She's 18. 6 months ago, she said, I can do anything, but I'm never answering a phone. So I got a phone and I forwarded the phones. Whenever I traveled, I was not only doing our network marketing company, I was doing our traditional business, and I would be like, which phone is this? I was like picking up this, picking up that. And eventually she started answering the phone. Yesterday, I was in the office. She was in the office. It used to be if I was there, she would let me answer the phone. Yesterday, she answered the phone. Hey, this is Lacey. It's a great day. How can I help you? And I was thinking to myself, she developed a skill that she thought she hated. She grew, she learned, and it gave me more systems and duplication. See, what you have to do, you guys, you have to let people fail on the phone. You have to let people fail in their finances. You have to let people fail at developing a skill, because we only learn when we fail. You know how I learned to be really good in sales? I screwed up a lot of calls. And when I took responsibility, I haven't been making the calls, I better start making them. They weren't always good, but I kept going. Just like speaking, it wasn't always good, but I kept going. Just like my first live. Oh my God, if I could go back and look at that, people were like, don't ever do that again, Barb. But here I am. I'm still going live every Saturday, love me or not love me, right? Because I know that I am going to be able to reach out and touch people and build people and change lives and use the wisdom and the experience and the strength. I'm sorry, my little bulldog just joined me. If you hear him snorting, he's wanting attention. Sorry, I'm about to end this, Kilo. But moral of the story, guys, we got to get serious. We got to get serious about life, because life is serious. And you got to listen to the millionaire tapes over and over again. You got to read the good book over and over again. If you want it to be your best year, you got to change before the leaves fall, before the snow falls, before the spring comes. You got to get smart. You got to change your philosophy. You got to learn a little bit more wisdom. Think about possibility. If there's a life-changing product line and you have it, don't miss the spring when you could be the one that has a harvest because you shared it with the world. If you've got a skill and everyone else is coasting and they're all going on vacation, now's the time when you could really flourish. My daughter Callie said the other day, most realtors are not going to make it. Most lenders are not going to make it. But I am, because I'm not giving up. It's going to be my harvest. And you guys, that has to be your attitude. A lot of network marketers say, oh, time is tough right now. There's so much competition. Everybody's going live. You know what? They're not me. I don't care what product people have. You get me when you join my team. And that's what you've got to say, guys. You are what people are buying. We had an amazing trainer on a call this week, a guest speaker. We had a virtual costume contest, and we had a speaker. And it's funny because he's one of the oldest in the industry. And when he came on, I thought he was going to give this amazing new talk. It was the same talk, because no matter what, no matter how big you get, the basics never change. You are your biggest enemy. Develop the right mindset. Develop the courage muscle. Develop that perseverance. Develop that attitude. Strengthen your faith. And more than anything, you guys, you've got to take massive and immediate action. There's less than 3 months left in the year. We don't want to end another year saying I just didn't do it. Learning is the answer. And being lazy in learning is not the way to do it. Learning is the answer. And when you develop a skill and you take action, like yesterday in our traditional business, we send emails to all of our customers, right? And we have been working with these customers for years. I used to go to Dallas Market when our products weren't even a thing, and now everybody's trying to do it, right? But I was there in the beginning. I took the spring and I went crazy with it when everybody was questioning it. And now I can't really just email, because only like 30% of people even open their emails. But if I text, it's 99%. But the industry that I'm in with CBD, they don't allow you to have a texting tree. So I got to get innovative. How am I going to reach my people if I can't do a text blast with my traditional business? I can't just keep saying, I'm going to email, I'm going to email, I'm going to email. It doesn't work that way. Today, these customers have their own apps. These customers are in a gig economy. They're not doing it the old fashioned way. I have to pivot. We all have the same sail. We all have the same wind blowing. We all have the same opportunities. I can't keep steering my ship into the wind and not pivot, or I'm going to sink, you guys. I'm not going to make it if I don't learn, adapt, and grow in the middle of these summers when you're having so much opposition. The economy is down. People are tight on money. There's so much doubt. There's so much gloom and doom. We're in the middle of whatever kind of election we're in right now. Gas prices are high. Whatever's all bad, it doesn't matter, you guys, because guess what comes after winter? Spring. And guess what? We all have to survive the winter no matter how hard it is. And I'm not talking about this next 90 days. Winters can come for you in June. It's the seasons of your life that you really got to learn how to take a hold of. And I am so excited for this season. I know it's hard. I know it's tough. I know there's a lot of opposition. I know that there's always going to be the enemy trying to stop us. There's always going to be problems. Guess what we're going to have next week? Problems. The bigger the opportunity, the bigger the problems. When I used to wait tables at Boot Hill Cafe, my problem was some people didn't leave a tip. My problem was I accidentally gave a regular Coke instead of Diet Coke. My problem was I got scheduled to work on Mother's Day and I didn't want to work on Mother's Day, right? Those problems were little. And if you've ever been a waiter, you go to take somebody coffee and they go, not coffee. No. I mean, it's just coffee. Chill out. I was just checking if you needed some. I didn't go in the back room and cry my eyes out that Mr. Wilhelm freaked out that he didn't like coffee. I love coffee. It's the best part of my day. He hates coffee. Okay. I love network marketing. I love direct sales. I love CBD. There are people that think CBD is the devil, network marketing is a scam, and direct sales is a carnival barker. But I don't go to bed every night crying about all the people that don't support me. I just wake up and keep being me. And you guys, whatever your beliefs are, and whatever your purpose is, and whatever your passion is, it's because God put it in your heart. Don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. Don't wish the economy was better, wish you had more money saved up. Live below your means during this harvest. Be smart. Take action. And you guys, more than anything, let's get serious because life is serious. And it is the best of times for some people right now when other people are going through the worst of times. So just embrace it. Be happy for the ones that are having success. Don't try to blow anyone's candle out to make yours burn brighter. You're going to look like a dipshit if you do. And nobody wants to follow a critic. So be careful of what you speak. Be careful of who you're tearing down. Be careful of being opinionated and set in your ways. And just adjust your sail. Be all love all the time. And most importantly, feel good right now. No matter what you're going through, you can find a way to feel good now. And when you protect your energy, it's not that you don't have to love these people. Love them from a distance. All you have to say, please don't share that with me. I'm trying to protect my energy. Please don't send that to me. I'm trying to protect my energy. We had something sad or bad happening this week, and I had messaged my kids, and one of my children sent back and said, please don't send me that. It makes me feel off. I have to protect my energy. And I said, I'm sorry. I mean, it's just what's happening. And she said, I don't care what's happening, Mom. I have to protect my energy. And you guys, that's strength. That's you being able to put a boundary around you, even if it's your own mom, even if it's your own sister, even if it's your spouse, and say, please don't tell me that. I'm over here protecting my energy. And you guys, you have a right. It's your energy. It's your life. It's your health. It's your business. It's your finances. It's your mindset. It's your household. Protect it like your life depends on it. And I'll tell you why. Because it does. Energy is everything and everything is energy. And I hope today you feel my passion to get serious, guys. Get serious and take massive and immediate action. 90 days left. You can do it. All you have to do is decide, take responsibility, say, I've been lax, I've been casual, I've been the farmer that's bowling in the spring. No more bowling. I'm going to tend to my crop. I'm going to tend to my herd. I'm going to tend to my energy, my business, my finances, my health. And you guys start today. If you haven't been going on a walk, go on a walk. If you haven't cleaned your closet, clean your closet. If you haven't paid your taxes, pay your taxes. If you haven't done your sales tax, do your sales tax. If you haven't done your hiring, hire and delegate. I told Dave this week, I go, even though it was a crazy week, I got my taxes done on October 15th. I got my sales tax filed. I got employees hired. I got new displays done in the stores. I tended to my family members that needed my help. I cleaned my closet. I got the decorations out, and I did it all the while I had my headset in, killing it in my business. You can't wait for conditions to be right, guys. I had been lax in a lot of areas. I put things off because it was too hard. It was too stressful. It was too much. I was overwhelmed. Overwhelmed cannot be a word. You want me to tell you guys something? People who are great are always going to have pressure. I am always going to have pressure. I am always going to have enemies. I am always going to have haters. I am always going to have opposition. But you know what I've done? I have developed the muscle. And the muscle comes from experience. And you can develop the muscle. You can't react when things happen. You can't just react. And how you react is so very important, you guys. React like you're already a millionaire. React like you're already strong in your faith. React like you're already healed from the sickness. React like you've already forgiven all the people. You make the phone call today. You write the letter today. You make the apology today. You go, go to someone and say, it's springtime for me. I fell into the greatest opportunity. Could I share with you what I'm doing? I'm so excited about this. And if you did, people would say yes. Look for the person that's busy that already has 2 jobs. That's the person you want in your business. Don't procrastinate another day, you guys. It's go time and it's time to get serious. Have a great day, everyone.